June 26th.
This is Sunday, June 26, 2011, Maryland channeling.
Thank you for all your help.
I'm glad to be here, Martha.
And Nancy, you're just a bundle of joy. And we love you too. And the lady next to you,
Candace?
I don't believe I know you.
No, I've never met you, but it's a pleasure.
Well, my name is Martha, and I'm the sister of Lazarus, and I'm Maryland's gatekeeper. We're so glad you came today.
Thank you, Martha.
Well, come again, and I'm going to let Saint Germain come in with a message before John today, so then we'll just go keep working through and having a special guest today, which you know about. So Saint Germain's eager to talk to you. Here he comes.
Thank you, Martha. Bye.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Saint Germain.
Well, I am so glad to be here, and as you were listening to that song, we have some answers to your dreams to help you along that path so it can happen and you can come out of the darkness as we've had for so thousands of years. And I wanted to just share some information with you today to help give you a little more hope about how far down the path you've come. We're going into this age of enlightenment, and then up till next end of October, there'll be open doors for people moving into the age of enlightenment, and you people in this room are definitely part of that group. The light workers that come for the channelings are always part of that group. And we would like to let you know how important it is that you stay on your journey as you proceed closer and closer to the light of God, and letting that be who you are in your life. And the numbers are just astounding, and I would like to show you how important you are in your spiritual growth. It will take 70,000 people of enlightenment to be able to change into the golden age. Now, 70,000 people is a lot of people. And if you think of the impact each person has on those around them, you will actually impact 100,000 people. It's the trickle-down effect you've heard about. So when you multiply your spiritual growth and who you are influencing in your being part of growing and spiritually continuing on your path, that number multiplied comes out to 7 million. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You have a very big impact on this change that's coming about. So at 7 million is the population of the earth, and that's what it will take for us to be in fifth dimension. And so I want to continue encouraging you to keep opening up to more and more of what you are learning and finding out about yourselves. Some people say it's very important to know yourself. And I know today that the people in this room have been doing that. You have been searching and seeking and continuing in spiritual programs, studies, spiritual book, all kinds of ways of getting help through spiritual readings, and how important this is and how important you are to the coming new age. I want to congratulate you for being on this path. And I want to welcome you in this lovely sunshine today, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saint Germain.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am John, and I'm glad you people are here today. And I believe we have a new person here today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Candace.
Good afternoon, Candace. I am John.
Nice to meet you, John.
Some people call me John the Divine or Saint John, but John from the Bible, as you've heard of that John. And we have been meeting and coming together for some time, and we're glad that you're joining us today.
Thank you.
And good afternoon, Nancy.
Hi. Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Mac.
Good afternoon, John.
And glad to see you, Darcy.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, this is a very, very monumental day today, and you are all a very important part of the whole parcel of our going into higher vibrations of love and light. And I want to start out today by explaining and helping you to move even further into the light of God. As you know, that spirit has different vibrations of energy. And as you got into this planet Earth and lowered your vibrations of energy lower and lower to manifest in more physical form and play around with the energies that you have the ability to practice using energy in your life and creating. That energy, some of it became, most of it is why you're here, is very dense and dark and kept you grounded to earth, so it was very difficult to get back into spirit. And today we have an exercise to help make some more adjustments in that change. But as you know, when things are, spirit gets very heavy, you might equate it to the different perceptions of water. When it is very heavy and frozen, it is like ice. And many of your emotional essence of who you are became so dark and dense, they became frozen. And this is a great, great cause. If you're emotionally growing, they have to thaw out so there can be a flow of emotion, a flow of energy. If your energy is stuck, you become sick. Your ego is definitely running the show because you are separated from God, and therefore the energy is not coming through from love, but from the fear that the ego produces, and you are very stuck and frozen in your emotional life. And as you people have been growing spiritually, you have been picking away and shining light on different parts of your emotional life, your different fears, resentments, and so forth. And many of the channelings have helped you release and detach from those people and situations which you were connected to and was keeping your energy very dense and solid so it couldn't flow and help move out into a healthier space for your healthiness and growth to occur. And today, instead of focusing on detaching from others and your faults and shortcomings that need to be dispelled, which is a good word because it was a spell, you were living in illusion. You said to yourself in a moment of thoughtlessness, what would it be like to be separated from God? And you found yourself here in third dimension, which has not been the most fun planet to find out what it's like to be separated from God. I think you all have your stories of suffering and misery that you could share. We all have had them, and our moving out of them is the glory. That is possible, that when you come into the truth of who you truly are, you can dispel the darkness and let that solid energy start to dissipate into the ethers and flow, so that you are having your emotions moving now in a healthier way, which would be more like water in a river flowing, and we're going to have an exercise about that shortly. So as you are moving out of your denser energies, you are also freeing yourself, not just those around you, because those are the illusion. They came to provide a mirror for you to see what your soul needed to continue to heal. You see your soul splintered into all those different little pieces of fragments as you became denser and denser, and your soul was not able to really operate in the way that you truly are as a child of God. And now today we're going to work very carefully to help you bring love to those spiritual splintered pieces so your soul can be restored. And as you're moving out of the flowing emotional aspect of your life, and it can then evaporate and go into the ethers with the prana, and you have what we would call a gaseous state, and that's the fifth dimension where you will move out of, eventually you will move out of being solid and moving back into the essence and spirit of truly the God that you were created in the image of. So you see, you have been going through quite a transitional phase for many thousands of years of moving out of that dense, dark, heavy energy into where you are flowing emotionally today, and you have your feelings are just your guidance as to what the emotional life is inside. And if it feels good, that's your feeling that you're moving forward closer and closer to God, which is heaven on earth. And as you move closer to God, the dark denseness is going to be dissipated and eliminated, and that is the end of third dimension and the world as you have known it. In the Bible, it talks about the end of the world. Now, people think the planet will explode or the planet will be invaded by monsters or whatever, which is not the case at all. So to alleviate your fears about that, anything negative happening, it's actually the most glorious thing that could come into your life is to leave this pain and the suffering behind and move into the glory and grace of God. That is the end of the third dimension as we move in through the fourth dimension quite quickly into living into the grace of God, which is the fifth dimension. So you see, your emotions have had to thaw out, just like they were frozen. And we're going to help you to alleviate some of those in just a moment. Some of you are so very good at knowing that as a child of God that other people did show and give you lessons to learn, and you have practiced forgiveness. And that is a wonderful lesson and tool. But we are going to move even to a more spiritual form of forgiveness today, and showing you how to forgive yourself, because you created those people that gave you the lessons. They were just an illusion in your dream as you visited Earth and the old world that is now dissipating. So they really were just, you might say, a figment of your imagination, but it sure seemed real, didn't it? But it was your thinking that made it so. And as you heal your thinking into positive thoughts, your thoughts are so powerful. And when you decided for that short moment to separate from God to see what it would be like, see how powerful an experience you created. And now, as you have changed lots of bits and pieces of your thinking and feelings and behaviors, attitudes into being more God conscious, your experience is becoming more of a dream that you really wanted, which is really the truth of who you are. And you can leave the illusion behind and move into the home that is your true essence from where you came. So you see, we're not really leaving Earth as such, but you are helping it to ascend into that higher light, loving, very wonderful experience of eternal love and for everlasting experience of being with your Creator. And it is truly an emotional energy shift that is going to be going on with you today. So I would like you just to take a moment and take a big deep breath and relax. And I want you to feel yourself, the feelings that are still left that you have not found in your searching out of who you truly are through these last many years of searching for more of God in your life. And feel any tenseness, any tension, unhappiness in the first 10 years of your life that still might be hidden, might be in denial because you really didn't want to look at it, so it was easier to blame somebody else. that you might not have thought that was much fun and you didn't just want to deal with that one right now. Just take a moment to feel any uncomfortable, and you don't even have to name the emotions, but just for a moment, experience the tense and tight and negative, dark, deep, dense emotions from the first 10 years of your life. And we'll give you just a moment to explore. And let the feelings come up so they're real. The ice cube is thawing. Whatever's there, you know about it, and that's all that counts. Being honest with yourself is the most important thing. And now we're going to go into that first 10 years of your life and find yourself a suitcase from wherever you lived at that time when you were 10. And open up your suitcase. And you are going to fit all those dark, uncomfortable, tense, tight emotions that still were in the deep crevices and corners and still hidden from you. And just whatever they are, it doesn't matter how deep or severe, just feel the feeling. You don't have to go through the whole story, but it's the feelings, the energy we're concerned about. You can label those later if you choose. Put them all in the suitcase. They'll fit. Make your suitcase large enough so it holds all of it. And close your suitcase. Pick up your suitcase and walk out the door of your home. And you're carrying all that baggage with you. And as you carry that suitcase, you're now going to see yourself from the years of being 10 through 20 years old. And you're going to go into the house that you lived at that point in time. Find another suitcase. And you are going to explore one more time any tense, tight, and emotional experiences that were very draining. The energy was stuck for whatever reason, and you've just not dealt with it. It's still there that you haven't explored it or brought it to the light yet. And just feel those feelings for a moment. This is between 10 and 20 years of age. And now you're going to find another suitcase just as big as you need to put your emotions from that period of your time. Fill your suitcase with all those dark and dense, heavy, fearful emotions and fill it up. And with all that baggage, you now have 2 suitcases of old past baggage. And now we're going to proceed to your years from when you are more of an adult, from 20 to what you are now. And we'll give you a little longer time to explore any dense, dark, heavy feelings that are still stuck out of the daylight, heavy energy that is not flowing in your life that needs to be removed from the years of growing up from being 20 years old up to the current. So explore and feel those feelings. Now you might need a ocean trunk or steamer trunk to fill your emotions this time, because you had a longer space of time. But take a suitcase that is very much needed for all the feelings that you've been experiencing for that period of your time, and fill it completely. And when you filled your suitcases, you are going to have help to get them. Your guides are helping you to carry them. You are going to go off into the woods and find peace and quiet and a river. So find yourself going to a favorite place that you might have hiked. You might like to go and spend time in nature and just be in the quiet sounds of the birds and the insects and the water rippling through the brook or the river, whatever you choose. And sit yourself down on the bank of the river with your suitcases. And one by one, open your suitcases and empty them into the river. And now that your suitcases are empty, watch those negative emotions moving down the river as they kind of dissipate from the heaviness and are flowing away. As they're moving out of your experience and flowing out of sight, they're moving off to the ocean where they're going to join the rest of the ocean. And they will not be a problem because they are being purified out into the ocean water. Those emotions are now lifting and raising into the ethers, into the prana, the light and love of God to extend into spirit, the healthy, happy, high spirit that we are all truly looking forward to joining and being part of. You have released your baggage of the past, emotional pain. I want you to sit for a moment and feel free from the past. You should feel lighter shoulders, the inner light getting glowing higher and brighter. More love in your heart expanding to who you are from head to toe. Experience your true self. The person you are truly meant to be. You have forgiven yourself for all those experiences that you have walked through, crawled through, and cried through. They no longer exist. You are free. And in forgiving and letting go of those experiences, because they were just illusions in the first place, you are free to leave the world of third dimension. You no longer have those emotional attachments, connections, things that will pull you back down. You are on a higher vibration. Feels good, doesn't it? You can see yourself floating above the river, above the past, as you move forward into the now and the presence of God. You are experiencing right now your true self, the loving person you were created to be in the image of the God you so truly love. You are very courageous people to walk into this enlightenment. And we have a very special message here from Jesus for you. So if you would be so kind as to wait a few minutes, he would love to come in. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
That was beautiful.
I am Sananda, and I am so glad to be here with all of you today.
Welcome, Sananda.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Some of you know me as Jesus, which is my earthly name. And I am here today to welcome you home. Home into your heart and your being and your oneness with creation and your oneness with all there is. What a joyous happening to come home. I would like to give you a moment of just experiencing what it's like to be in the presence of God. Do you see yourself and feel yourself feeling like bubbly energy, just exciting and having a great joyous time? I hope so. This is an exciting time for people. Enlightenment is what we are about and what we came to do. And when I said I came, that you may do this also and even more, this is exactly what I was talking about. Raising your emotional life into the oneness of God. This is what you came for. This is your journey that you will continue on, but you have made a momentous stage of your journey into a place where not everyone is ready, and I would like to tell you how courageous you have been to face the past and move beyond it. What a victory you have created in your life, and I want you to know how very proud I am of you. Your Father in heaven is very proud of you and says that you are his beloved children with whom he is well pleased. May I extend a great heartwarming welcome. I would like to give you another tool today that will make this even more of an amazing experience for you so that you can grow further and further being a channel of that love that you always have been, but now you can send it as you receive it from God. You just pass it on to others, and you have become a living and walking God. He is moving through you to others. And all you see and do will be heavenly because you have come into that closeness to God where no fear will ever be a problem. It will just be dispelled by the light and the love of who you are because you have taken responsibility for your life. You have owned up to saying, I see beyond the fear. I see the light that dispels the darkness. And I choose to lift myself up into the light of God, up into the heaven on earth. And that's where you have come. You are creating, at this very moment, heaven on earth by your presence. Do not question if you're on the path or you've done the right thing. Your presence as one of those 70,000 people who are coming into enlightenment is so profound. You cannot even imagine your presence is helping in every place you go, in everything you do. Everything you say and think is being manifested through love. And that love is what everybody is looking for. People have had terrible difficulties because their needs were not met. And the only need they needed was love. And now you can be that love in their life. You can extend it wherever you go. And be sure to love yourself along the way so you don't lose it or burn out. We want you to be everlasting in your love, just like anyone that is in this predicament such as an ascended master, is always in this situation, and you are coming into that also. You are becoming masters of your emotions, masters of love, a loving life, and what a miraculous thing this is. You are to be given a great big badge today, all of you, for saying, heaven is on earth, and I am part of it. To help this even happen into a more real way for you, I would like you to think for a minute where you are totally in one with yourself, and to visualize a golden key in front of you. And you are to insert the key into your third eye, turn it to the right. Now, as you take the golden key out, please put it back into your third eye and turn it again to the right. And that golden key needs to be inserted one more time and turn it to the right. You have opened up the gates to heaven. Your emotional body is now free to roam about heaven as freely as you choose. Congratulations. I would like to add a little disclaimer, I guess you might call it. When your feet were on the ground and you had earthly behaviors and activities and chores, and they said chop wood and carry water, you did that very, very carefully and very religiously, and you were very good at it. And now that you are in a heavenly realm, may I say, you still need to chop wood and carry water. It doesn't take away your responsibilities from your earthly things, but this adds so much more to your dimensions. As the further down that your pain and suffering was, you have climbed to the tops of the joy and bliss and ecstasy which is your inheritance. May you enjoy your prosperity. May you enjoy all the gifts of the fruits of the Spirit in your life, finding peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding. May it be with you for now and forevermore. Have a very marvelous eternal life with your Creator, knowing that's all there is. Anything else is just that illusion. You do not have to return to it unless you choose to go help others that are still struggling. You have that choice at another time. I would like to wish you farewell today, and that my heart is with you always. Please call on me in your day of trouble, and I would be glad to be there with you. As you are in service to others at this point, I am still in service to you. And please remember my name in your prayers, and have a wonderful, wonderful time in your new emotional experience. I bid you goodbye and love you very much from deep in my heart. And my Mother Mary is here to say her blessings are with you, and she wishes you all to know how much she loves you too. Thank you for coming. May you have a lovely rest of your life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.